Casey, Illinois, the most points they've given up in a game is 23 all year. I mean, what have you seen from their defense? Why are points at a premium right now against them?
I mean, they're really good defense, good athletes across the board. I think they're number one in the Big Ten. They're top in the country. Their stats, they stand out for sure on paper. They have good size and athleticism on their depth chart as well. I think they're averaging like 8 points a game, giving up a defense. They're top. They're really good on third down. They do a good job of creating a lot of pressure and movement up front in the front seven. They do a good job in the back end. I know some of their DBs have recognition. So I would say that they have good size, good speed, good athleticism. So, I'm sure that they're feeling good, but, we like what we have as well, and we're excited about the matchup.
They have 12.
What did you do during the bye week, and how beneficial was it for you?
During the bye week, I watched a lot of film. Got a chance to, get in the training room a lot, work on my body, recover, get some good work out in the practice field. And then they let us go home. I think it was Thursday or so. So I got a chance to work out on Thursday, get a good lift in, go home over the weekend, spend time with my family, watch some college football. And then I came back here, and then we got after it on Sunday. So it was good bye week for us. It was very timely. We all needed it. I needed it for sure. But it was good for me. Definitely just get a lot of treatment, working on some mobility, some flexibility stuff, recovery for sure, just trying to get my body back right. So I feel good coming off the bye week, and we usually play good coming out of a bye week as a team. So I'm very excited, and today's practice was really good, and I felt good out there today.
They have 12 interceptions, so they've done a pretty good job of rushing the passer and getting interceptions.
Right.
What are they doing with their coverages that is obviously giving quarterbacks a hard time?
They do a good job of playing man and zone coverage. They disguise it a little bit, but most of their interceptions have come from just playing really good man coverage. Their defensive backs have good ball skills. They make plays on the football. They have 12 right now, but watching the film, they probably should have a little bit more. They've dropped a couple of interceptions, and so they definitely could have 15 to 20 for sure. But just watching all the film and stuff, not a lot of teams have had success passing the ball, but I don't really feel like that. That I don't feel like they've played we have good receivers and we have explosive players on our offense. So I'm excited about the matchup and the opportunity, and we'll be ready to go.
Casey, what do you expect these upcoming opponents to do in pass defense as a reaction to the success that Trey Palmer has had in the last game? And what kind of opportunities does that possibly open up for some other targets of yours?
When Trey gets going, obviously it opens up the pass game because he's explosive. He has really good yards after the catch. He's fast. But, Trey does a good job of just running his routes and running hard. So sometimes, he may attract two defenders, and, that allows us to find more open receivers, and other people will come open. But, Illinois so far, they've done a good job, like I said, just playing the coverage that they play. And most teams that we go against, they just run their base defense. I don't know if Illinois will adjust, mid-game to how Trey performs or not. It depends on if we execute or not. So it'll be interesting to see, if they'll stay in their game plan or if they'll come out of it and kind of double Trey or do things that way. But we'll see how it goes. We'll be ready to have answers for any coverage that they put out on the field. But I'm anticipating that they're just going to try to line up and play one-on-one with Trey, and we'll see who wins on Saturday. So, like I said, I'm excited about the matchup, and Trey is ready for the opportunity. He's been looking really good at practice, and obviously, he's getting better and better each week with each game. So, I think Trey has all the confidence in the world, and we have great chemistry right now. And Trey's getting as good as he's played. He's actually getting better at his route running, and he's getting better at catching the balls, and he's doing a good job at tracking the deep balls. For a fast guy like that, when you're running full speed, it's not easy to track those deep balls, and he's doing a good job of that, and it starts in practice. So I like where we're at.
Everybody knows he's fast, but does he surprise people even when they're on the field with him, just how fast he is,
Yeah.
He still catches people off guard a little?
I mean, we all know Trey was fast. I remember when he came here, on paper he had like a 10-2 or 10-3 100-meter or whatever he was. And then as a senior in high school, and then I saw on paper he ran a 20.19 or something like that in the 200-meter, which is crazy fast. You know, it all sounds good on paper. When you get up close and you really see how fast he is, it's very impressive. So every team that we've played, they've known that he's fast. Northwestern knew he was fast. You know, every team we played so far has known that he's fast. And at the end of the day, they still have to go out there and cover. So, you know, it took me a little bit when I first got here in January to get adjusted to him. Throughout spring ball, we had great chemistry and timing, and then throughout the summer and fall camp, you know, with Trey, you have to make sure you put the ball up with some good air so he can find it, you know, because he's real fast. But, yeah, I think it surprises a lot of people when they get up close to him on the field, seeing how fast he is. Like I said, he's done a good job of his route running and his hands, and just his overall football IQ has continued to increase in his confidence. So we like where he's at for sure. And I like Trey as a receiver, and I respect and appreciate his game.
I know you're taking it week by week, but is there a jolt in the step when you look at the West? I mean, it's still just there. Like Purdue loses this week, and
Yeah.
the standings are there. Or do you not even think about that much?
Yeah, I mean, I watched college football last week. I mean, every week is crazy. You know, across the country, you never know who's going to win or lose. But we have to just focus on, you know, winning each game and focus on the matchup. But I'm not really trying. You know, it's good to have a big picture mindset, but also, you know, narrow focus and kind of have that flashlight mentality of being able to lock in on one opponent at a time, but having the awareness to know what's going on around the country. So try not to focus on, you know, what everybody else is doing and just focus on our opponent. But like I said, if we don't go out there and win every Saturday, then it doesn't matter, you know, who wins or loses across the country. So I try not to pay attention to that too much. I know people in the building and everyone else that pays attention to college football kind of keeps track of who wins or loses. But at the end of the day, you know, to me, it's simple. If we go out there and we win every game, then we're going to be in a good position at the end of the year. If we go out there and lose, and like I said, it doesn't matter. So I try not to worry about like what's going on. I just try to focus on winning the game each week.
I know it's different when it's a road game versus a home game, but how do you feel like moving pre-snap protections has gone this year with you in the offensive line?
I like road games a lot. The only reason why I don't, it's harder on the road as a team and as an offense because, you know, when you get into different stadiums and they have all these tactics and antics to make the stadium louder. You know, they play third down music and the band is right behind us and they put the student section behind us and stuff. So it makes us go on silent count. So it's not easy to communicate on the road, but I enjoy road games just because kind of being in a different stadium and being the villain is cool. But at home, it's very easy at home because we're able to communicate on the field. We're able to I can hear the offensive line make calls, and we usually have, you know, less pre-snap procedure penalties. So it'll be good to be back at home, and hopefully whenever we're on defense, you know, our crowd will do a good job of being a distracting factor for the other team and being loud on, you know, third down, also on first and second down. So I really like for the Husker Nation to get loud so we can create that effect on other teams, but I think that we'll be fine. And then so far this season, I think that, like I said, other than a couple of games on the road, especially at Rutgers, we had a hard time communicating up front, but the rest of the season I felt fine. I really like our leadership by Trent Hickson, our center. He does a really good job at setting protections and also identifying the fronts and the blitzes that are coming. So we'll be fine. Like I said, we'll be ready for whatever. And here recently we've done a good job with the offensive line coach, Coach Raiola. We do a blitz pickup meeting with the offensive line, quarterbacks and running backs. We've done that more recently the last few weeks, and that helps me as a quarterback just kind of feel comfort in knowing that they know where the guys are going to blitz from, and then we just have to go out and execute on Saturdays.
Casey, somebody who's been around 4 head coaches in your career, and, you know, seems to have a good handle on everything that's going on in the sport. What's your perspective, your observations of Coach Joseph these last 6 weeks and just how he's stayed in the moment when there's obviously been a lot of eyes on him?
I like Coach Joseph because he brings good energy. He's very detailed and organized. He's very intense and he's passionate, and he brings the best out of everyone. What I like about him is when you walk in the building, whether you're a player or a coach, everything you do is going to be evaluated. Anybody on staff has to do their job, and he holds everybody accountable, and I really like it. I enjoy it. You know, after a win, he's always, I mean, almost every day we talk and we meet, and he tells me what I need, what he needs from me as a quarterback and as a leader. And I appreciate him because he pushes me. He gets on to me. You know, he probably coaches me. You know, him and Coach Whip, they coach me just as hard as any coach I've ever had. And they get on to me a lot. And I kind of grew up with my dad on me a lot. And my dad, like I said, my dad was with me when I was growing up, so I'm used to it. I'd rather a coach be more demanding and more aggressive and be more vocal about what they need from me instead of being passive. And I mean, at the end of the day, I'm still a college student. You know, I haven't made it to the pros yet. I'm not a coach, so I don't know everything, and I need to have that hard coaching. I think Coach Joseph does a good job with me, holding me accountable, and the rest of the team, and also the coaches as well. So I like him because he brings energy and passion, but I've been most impressed with him because his organization and his discipline. I mean, every week he's holding guys accountable off the field if we have guys that miss things, whether it's meals or workouts, or if they miss class, or you know, if they're not on time to something. Everyone's held accountable every week, and there's punishment and there's consequences for it. So I really like what he's doing, and no matter what happens next year, Mickey Joseph, he'll always have my respect, and you know, I want him to be around for sure.
From what you've seen on tape and from what you know about their personnel, what do you think is the number one thing you guys have to execute and the offensive?
Well, I mean, a lot of people are talking about how good they are in the back end as a defense because they've had a lot of turnovers and they play good man coverage. But honestly, they do a good job up front. Their defensive line, their front seven, is very good, and they do a good job with the run stopping, and they also do a good job in the pass rush. So we're going to have to execute. We're going to have to be able to run the ball, and we're going to have to be able to protect the quarterback, which is going to be me, obviously. So it starts up front for us, and we're going to have to make plays down the field when we have to make plays. But what stands out is, like, we were watching the third down cut-ups, and I think it was like 12 or 13 plays watching on the tape, and only like 3 or 4 completions were thrown on them out of like 14 or 15 clips. So they do a good job on third down, like I said, and they do a good job up front. But I think for them, everything starts up front, and then it allows their defensive backs to you know, play good technique in the back end. But I think for sure that their front seven stands out on film.
You told us a couple of weeks ago you're like throwing it to Tommy. Did the extra time help him as he's kind of worked into that position a little more?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's coming along, and Tommy's a good player. He has good speed. He has a natural feel. He has good routes and good hands. You know, the last game at Purdue, you know, using him on special teams a lot. You know, he wasn't able to have a lot of plays on offense, but yeah, having this extra time with Tommy and having the bye week really helped. And like I said, I like where we're at with Tommy, and you know, I've had good chemistry and connection with him. He's easy to throw to, and he has pretty good football IQ. But anytime you move from one side of the ball to the other side of the ball in the middle of the season, you know, it's not going to be perfect. So, you know, we understand that. We're focusing on playing to his strengths and, you know, utilizing him the best that he can. But also knowing that we have a room full of receivers who are all capable. And like I said, we're confident and we're excited about the opportunity this Saturday to go against Illinois. And all of our receivers can make plays whenever they need to. And we do a good job of knowing their favorite routes and what they're good at, you know, what cuts and things that they like doing and don't like doing. So we try to play to the strengths of all of our guys for sure. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.